Hi, Rob here. I just want to do this video because I want to show you guys something in the Holy Scripture about babies or children if they die before, if they die, where they go. There's a scripture that clears that up perfectly. Jesus said, if you go to, I'm trying to remember the verse now, Luke 16, I think it is, when Jesus described hell in Abraham's bosom with the rich man and the beggar named Lazarus. Okay, so he said that Lazarus was afflicted, he was suffering, he was in a physical state of dying, basically, at the gate of this guy, and he suffered, he was afflicted, he endured physical trauma and pain and misery unto death. Okay, so where did he end up? He ended up in Abraham's bosom, not hell. The guy that was in hell and tormented was the one that allowed him to continue in his affliction without reaching out and helping him. So here's the thing: if a baby dies or a child, that, and they're too young to be accountable for deciding to sin, or the devil working through them, okay, where they're willingly accepting it, you know what I mean? Of course, that's another whole can of worms that I've described on other videos. And there you go too. There's another thing about hell. So who ends up going to hell? Remember, it says at the end, Revelation 20, death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. So if death and hell have dead in them, then there's some people that are dead that are not in hell. Isn't that interesting? But we know that Abraham's bosom says that some of the saints that were, God led me to this verse last night too, just out of opening the Bible, boom. But when I was with my wife, we were studying the Bible, and I got this verse again. But when Jesus had died on the cross in Matthew, when he actually gave up the spirit, the ghost, it says that the veil of the temple was ripped from top to bottom. It says that the graves were opened, and some of the saints that were dead already rose from the dead and appeared to many after Jesus' resurrection. So death and hell, I'm starting to understand now that death must be people that don't go to hell, they go to death, and they're not actually going to go to be with Jesus because they haven't believed in this life before they died. You know what I mean? As in, we're born again, or cleansed from the Spirit, and God worked through them in this world. And those of us that do that go to be with Him, but those who die, who have been afflicted in this life, they end up just going to death. They don't go to a tormenting hell. The people that afflicted people, or who had the opportunity to help those in need and didn't, they end up going to hell. That's what Jesus explained. We need to go with what the Scripture says. We got to escape the false traditional understandings that we've been embedded with in the four churches, okay, with the traditions of men. Let's go to the Scripture. What did Jesus say? What did the apostles explain? We go there first, build our foundational understanding on that so we're not deceived, so we don't have false hope or false worry. We know that any baby that dies will not go to hell, okay? They will go